The ice cracked beneath Luke's boots. Seconds later, his arm twisted on the frozen sea. Thousands of miles away, a boy in the Philippines dove barehanded into a swarm of squid vanishing into the deep. And off Mexico's coast, a hooked fish came back half-eaten, something huge still lurking below. 3 moments you'd never expect, one ocean that never forgives. Woo! Welcome to Catch and Cook Survival. This video comes from Outdoor Boys, a family adventure channel about wilderness survival, camping, and fishing. It was filmed in Kotzebue, Alaska, in a Inupiaq village above the Arctic Circle. Luke, his son Tommy, and his nephew Ransom spend 4 days hunting, fishing, and experiencing traditional Inuit life on the frozen Chukchi Sea. On the first day, Luke, his son Tom, and nephew Ransom head onto the frozen sea to fish beneath the Arctic ice. The wind bites hard, the temperature near zero. Using sheefish chin as bait, they drop their lines into old ice holes passed down from local fishermen. The waiting doesn't last long, their lines begin to shake.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, it's like, no, that didn't work. Holy mackerel! Wait, holy sheepfish!
That is a nice fish. Look at that. Check that out. That is a beautiful Alaskan sheefish. They call them the tarpon of the north. When you catch them in the summertime, they jump out of the water. Look at that. He's longer than the fishing rod. You got one? Yes, you do. Now, Tom. Oh. There you go. Okay, keep the rod like that. Keep the rod like that. Oh, Tom, keep his head in the water. Yes! Ah, Tommy! Your first sheefish. What do you think? Is that cool?
Guy's muscular.
Why don't you go and dump him right down there, bud?
Yikes!
Yeah.
One after another, flounder and sheefish break through the surface. Laughter fills the air as the day turns golden and their buckets overflow.
Another beautiful sheefish. Well, not too bad for our first day. Look at that.
By nightfall, the family buries their catch in snow and natural freezer for tomorrow's meal.
All right, that should keep it safe from ravens and dogs and stuff.
The next morning, they trade rods for rifles, setting out across the tundra in search of white ptarmigan wild birds that blend perfectly into snow.
There you go, Tom. Go check it out. That right there is a ptarmigan. Turn white in the winter and they turn brown in the summer. Delicious bird. You look there, see all the little ptarmigan tracks? Those are old ptarmigan tracks right there. Let's go see if we can find some fresh ones. Yeah, see him? You see him right there? Ransom, you did it! Congratulations! There we go. My bag is gonna smell like ptarmigan. That'll do it!
Sorry, Dad.
It's okay, buddy.
Stop.
I'm really glad I got to film that.
Moments later, Luke slips on the ice, his arm twisting painfully. He fears it's fractured but keeps going, determined to finish the hunt. By evening, they have several birds and a memory that won't fade with the cold. By morning, Luke's arm feels better. The group spends time learning about Inupiaq history, ancient sealskin boats, jade stones, and traditional tools shaped by survival. Then it's back to the ice for one final session. The rods bend again. The Arctic gives them one last bounty. Back home, Luke shares the fish with neighbors, turning their Arctic harvest into a feast: smoked sheefish, candy, ptarmigan stew, and warm cheese rolls fresh from the oven. Days of wind and ice fade into laughter and firelight, proof that even in the far north, survival tastes best when it's shared. In Inuit culture, ice fishing and hand jigging have endured for generations. Without modern tools, hunters use reindeer antlers and handmade lines to catch massive sheefish beneath the ice. Fish are stored in snow caches perfectly preserved by nature's cold, a sustainable practice older than any freezer born from necessity and deep respect for the sea. After 4 unforgettable days in the Arctic, the outdoor boys leave Kotzebue with full hearts and full freezers. Would you brave the frozen sea for a catch like this? If you enjoyed this adventure, check out more hunting and fishing journeys on the Outdoor Boys channel, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for the next expedition. This story comes from Andro Solis, a YouTube channel dedicated to traditional fishing and coastal living in the Philippines. This episode was filmed in Coron, Palawan, where clear waters, coral reefs, and raw survival skills come together in a true catch-and-cook adventure. But what begins as a simple day at sea soon turns into a test of precision teamwork and instinct beneath the waves. As dawn breaks, a small wooden boat drifts away from the beach, its oars slicing through the still water. The father casts a wide net while his son, barely a teenager, watches closely, learning not from words but from rhythm and instinct. The waves are calm, the air sharp with salt, and beneath the surface, life stirs.
Mga idol, hilain natin pa mga idol, patabi. Yan. Ang ulam na rin tayo mga idol. Sigurado. Dandahan lang. Dami? Oo, sige. Day, dandahan nung day, dandahan. Dami pala yung mga idol. Huwag niya yan, sana. Ayun, sige, dandahan lang. Ayun mga idol. Alaka. Yala.
After hours of waiting, the moment arrives. The water around the net ripples, schools of fish flash below. Together they pull with all their strength, the heavy ropes creaking as the sea begins to surrender its catch. Silvery shapes twist and thrash inside the mesh, but the real work is just beginning. The boy straps on his mask and dives. With practiced grace, he moves like part of the ocean itself. Each descent is precise, no wasted effort. He spots a squid, lunges forward, and traps it cleanly with both hands. Another dive, another success, a grouper, then a cuttlefish. Every move shows confidence born from years beside the sea. Below the surface, it's a silent ballet between human and nature, fast, focused, and mesmerizing.
Isahan mga idol, wala na dyan, wala na, nagpunta na doon. Yun, laka. Ayun, laka.
One by one, the baskets fill with glimmering fish and slick dark squid. The catch big enough to feed their family for weeks.
Okay, mga idol. Idol, idol, kami nang bahala dito mga idol. Mag-ano ka na? Ibuhos muna natin dito mga idol, ibuhos. Yun, ibuhos. Naman si Idol Inday nito. Ayun. Ayun. Ayan na mga idol. Kaya, kain na. Today, kain day, kain. Kain tayo mga idol.
In coastal communities across the Philippines, diving with nets is one of the oldest and most trusted fishing methods. Fishermen dive by hand using nothing but goggles, breath control, and teamwork to trap fish and squid among the reefs. It's dangerous, exhausting, but deeply rooted in their way of life, a balance between survival skill and respect for the sea. As the boat glides back to shore, the setting sun turns the water gold, and their baskets overflow with fish and squid, proof of skill, not luck. Would you dare to dive like this, chasing your food by hand, or leave the sea's challenge to those born to master it? From the coast of Barra de Navidad, Jalisco, Mexico, the team behind Mex Anglers sets out before sunrise. Led by Juanro Roach Goin, joined by Sergio Keek and Captain Kaluli. Their YouTube channel captures real offshore fishing adventures across Latin America. Today's goal: find giants lurking beneath the Pacific surface. The morning begins calm, the sea rolling softly beneath the boat as light spreads over Barra de Navidad. Minutes after the first cast, Juanro hooks into a needlefish gliding near the surface.
Sí, a mí me pareció barrayuda. Pero sí, esa
¡Oh!
¡Wow! ¡Wow!
¿Habían visto esto? Se está mordiendo él mismo.
Solo.
¿Velo? ¿Sí lo ves?
Pero la parte de la panza viene mordida.
¿Velo?
The fight seems effortless until it rises, showing deep bite marks along its body, proof that something much larger had attacked it below. He releases it back into the waves, silent for a moment between short laughs about Keek fighting seasickness. Juanro takes a break to share a useful tip. Always wear a finger guard when casting heavy poppers. It saves your hands from cuts after long hours on deck. Soon after, another strike hits harder. His rod bends sharply, the reel spins fast, and a bigger needlefish bursts through the surface, silver scales flashing under the sun.
Que dé la vuelta por el otro lado.
También grande el culebro este. Tiene partido el pico de arriba. No, ya apagó la mía. Mareado.
El agujoncito con el stick bait. Está bueno este, ¿eh?
Voy a dar una vuelta porque aquí tengo mareado.
Buenos agujones, los que salen aquí en Barra. Está. Y son bien comunes, hay muchísimos. Unos. Ahí va saliendo, poco a poco.
Moments later, Sergio's reel screams. The tension builds as his rod arches under heavy weight. After a long fight, a bright red snapper, a huachinango, surfaces glistening in the light. The team cheers as they lift it aboard.
Porque no jala como toro, sí.
No sé. Tal vez sea toro, no lo sé. Sí puede ser, ¿eh?
Vaya susto, ¿eh?
Me acaba de dar esta cosa.
Pensaba que ya traías pargo, güey. Pero es muy bien, muy bien. Buena captura, viejo. Buena.
As the day warms, they switch to deep jigging. Sergio drops a silver jig, feels the sudden pull. A tuna erupts from the deep, thrashing wildly beside the boat before being hauled up.
Un peje lagarto.
Manguerón. Ve nomás, a ver, te lo muestro. Ahí está, hermanos. Un pequeño agujoncito. Está bueno este animal, Ya de más de metro, seguramente.
Jig fishing, unlike surface casting, demands precision and rhythm. The lure sinks deep, mimicking a wounded baitfish rising and falling through the dark water. Juanro explains that Sergio's success came from using a silver jig, which reflects sunlight even at depth, making it visible to fast predators like tuna. In offshore fishing, small details like lure color and motion often decide the entire catch. The day ends with success, slow morning, perfect afternoon. Juanro thanks viewers and invites them to experience Barra de Navidad themselves, a place where every cast tells a new story and the ocean always keeps a secret waiting below. From the Arctic tundra to sunlit tropical shores, these fishermen remind us that survival isn't only about catching fish, it's about patience, respect, and sharing what the ocean gives. If you enjoyed these true fishing adventures, subscribe to Catch and Cook Survival for more journeys where nature, skill, and courage meet beneath the open sky.